Hello, everybody. I'm Conquering History Games, and welcome to another episode of my Wallace's America campaign here in Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order. We're going to get trucking along here. We are on the 1st of January, 1968. Let's see if we can maybe get to Election Day in today's episode. That's about 10 months and 1 week away. Hello, their creative nickname. So, in the last episode, or actually, I think right now we're going through the Senate votes thing. Social Security is going to pass. Medicare is not. There's just no way around it. We tried several times. It isn't going to happen. After we're done with that, though, we have a few options here in the 10 months that we have. And I think what we're going to maybe do is try to go after the state of schooling, because I think that we can actually get through this through this whole tree before the election, because we've got, let's see, 2 weeks, then this is a month either way, so 1 month, we'll add this to this, make it 2 months. Okay, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a little bit of change, so it's gonna take 8-ish, 9-ish months to finish that once the Senate's done voting, which would be enough time before hey, we're not talking about what the Americans think about the racist healthcare. We're trying to get the Senate. That's different. Okay, but for real, yeah, I think that we're gonna be able to pull this off. By the way, let me know if you guys can hear any clunking in the background coming from my mic, because I can fix that pretty easily if I need to. So yeah, let's just let the Senate vote go through now. Let's take a look at the economy. Am I lowering military spending right now? No, I'm not. Let's fix that. Fear and loathing in Los Angeles. Let's move on. Sangent says, I think you should defund only the black school. You're probably supposed to be schools, right? That's better than defunding the whole system. We do have to think about the greater hood. Do we want things to be bad for everybody or just for some people? That's an excellent point, So we also might do this who do you work for yourself, which is going to make big business not like us. But then apparently there's this thing called look at the spare cash I just found at the end, which they will like. And let's be clear here. We're doing pretty good because we've moved up the lower the debt. You have 100 billion. In a bit, Sumer Gamer Grill. We'll think about doing that later. Sazba Zazo says, I'm going to miss your JFK voice. Oh, that means a lot to me. I do like it when people enjoy my voices. I sure don't all the time. Salted Awful entering the chat, slamming that caps lock key, which as we all know is the cruise control to cool, saying, I know who's going to beat Wallace, the sexiest woman alive, Stacey Abrahams, y'all. Hashtag Khaleesi. So, Social Security bill has passed. Today, the Senate has approved President Wallace's proposed Social Security Guild program. We already read this before. And Medicare bill failed. Yeah, it means I'm smart. Salted Awful. I am not criticizing. I am praising. So the Medicare bill has failed. So I'm going to start being seen as incompetent by my own party. So we're going to let that actually go through. And then we're going to let like 24 hours go by. Then we're going to say Social Security has passed. This is going to change things, so we now have the trinket pensions. You're feeling pain for how much interest I'm paying on the debt. It's because I want to pay off all the debt at once. So just hold on. Now, because we have segregated the Social Security, these are the modifiers that are going to happen to it. We shall become more popular in southern states. The effects of the rest of the bill will make us less popular in non-southern states. That's unfortunate. Because we took spend. The bill is going to cost more to maintain, but the poverty rate is going to go down quicker. We're also going to just generally be more popular nationwide because of the spend thing. So it's like, remember the spend thing, the reason we took that was so that we would be more popular, even though it would cost us money. But as is being pointed out in the chat, in terms of the economy, we're doing quite well right now. We've got 106 billion in reserves. We're going to hopefully just entirely pay off the debt before the end of this year. There should be like a modifier for that. You guys think? Like maybe, if you're a president that not that we're running a deficit, we have a surplus budget, but like if you completely get rid of the national debt, there should be some kind of modifier. On the other hand, there probably would be a way to cheese that where you then just make a little bit of debt and then pay it off, a little bit of debt, pay it off, like I'm talking just a couple of million. You could probably exploit that pretty easily. And so I think what we're actually going to do is we're also going to lower the civilian budget, even though I usually don't like doing that, but it's going to help with the deficit reduction thing. Actually, at the rate we're going, it's going to take about a year. Yeah, hopefully right before Election Day we can pay off the debt. That would just be fun. Okay. Okay, so what else was going to happen here? Expenses are going to rise. Poverty rate's going to go down quicker. Now, the poverty rate lowering is really good because right now we have a 25 to 50% poverty rate, which is a huge spread. But if we go up to the 15 to 25%, we're going to get a lot of bonuses. The most relevant ones for us is we're going to get 5% more stability, which is always nice. Our monthly population, or not the monthly population, the taxable population factor is going to go up by 20%, and the income rate factor is going to go up by 70%. Yeah, do something where make it so the modifier only appears once per campaign. Maybe, yeah. Stacey Abrams. So I got something embarrassing to admit. Go for Spartan Ideal. Yep. Let's go for the who do you work for yourself so we can get the blue collar base back, because if we look over here, right now we got some people who are unhappy with us. So let's the who do you work for yourselves. We can go back to defending freedom on the home front. We're going to overhaul the American welfare state and replace it with American welfare states. They're going to give states more control, whatever. Yeah, but we're just going to do this. We're not going to go do the rest of the stuff because then I want to work on education. All right, what else was I going to do? Not increase the unity of the RDs. That's for sure. Black market trading. Oh, it only is active for 2 weeks, but what does the black market trading do again? Oh, yeah, who gives a damn? All right. Oh, yeah, so here's something that's embarrassing. You know, I live here in the United States, and there's been a very important Senate race, pair of Senate races that are going on in Georgia, which are basically going to determine who's in charge of the Senate. You guys know I don't talk about my personal political beliefs, but I sure more than anything like to watch politics. Just I don't know how else to say it from an ivory tower point of view. Just try to look at it and see like, okay, what does this mean for a country? The way that they change. That's why I get interested in international politics as well. But anyway, there were 2 important Senate races in Georgia, and I got my days mixed up because there's a lot of big things that were happening this week. And I thought the election was today. It was yesterday, actually. So I guess a good thing that I wasn't a... that's funny, Blake. So I guess it's a good thing that I'm not a Georgian voter, or I would have missed it. Okay, fighting for you and me. Help elect the NPP. Let's get right to that. Okay, upcoming Senate races. What's up? What's up? I don't think there's many in the Deep South that are up for election, which is fine because I would just win that anyway. Oh, actually, no, there's a fair amount. But we're gonna keep the Deep South. There's nothing to worry about there. Upper South, we've only got like 2 states. Let's look at who's got the most Senate seats up. You know, this is kind of appropriate. I was just talking about Senate races, and now we're going into campaigning for those ones here. So right now, the Rockies have 5 Senate seats up. The Deep South we're skipping. Okay, it looks like the Great Plains and the Rockies have the most amount of states. Great Plains, Rockies, West Coast. So the West Coast right now has the MPP center incumbent. However, as we saw in the 1966 election, apparently like we could be primarying them. So these NPP centers should hopefully switch to NPP far rights. Although we have to keep in mind that Gus Hall and his socialists with the NPPL, well, they're communists actually. They're like authoritarian communists, not socialists. The friggin' NPPC is socialist, although I'm sure socialists would say they're not. Poor social democrats. Everybody hates them. The center hates them because they're commies, and then the commies hate them because they're just centrists as far as they're concerned. Centrists with a coat of pink paint. Oh, we could definitely make some gains here in the Great Lakes. But you know what? The Great Plains has 5 seats up for grabs, and only one of them is one that we already hold. So let's try to lock down those Great Plains, because it doesn't matter if you are a senator from Montana or from Florida. Population doesn't matter. One senator, one vote. So we don't need to think about them urban libs. Us Great Plains people are going to show them real America. So let's campaign there. Okay. Yeah, more like suck Dems. Yeah, everybody hates the Social Democrats. Let's see, Social Democrats, the left call them weak, and the center call them pathetic. Or vice versa, could be both, Maybe the center calls them weak. There you go. Bergsci. Yeah, I definitely think that once I'm done with all of this, depending on when an update is going to happen to the New Order, because I've said that I want to do the West Russian Revolutionary Front, but there's a chance I might put that on hold to either do a Comey gang or a Burgundy game. Now, the thing that I'm struggling with, because I definitely want to do a Burgundy game, but incidentally, I finally listened to that Burgundian Lullaby song that you guys told me about. There was a fantastic comment underneath it where it said, "Imagine a nation that is so cursed that they cry out for Hitler to liberation." So there is an update coming of TNO. Okay, yeah, so there you have it. But at some point, I'm definitely going to do a Burgundy campaign, but I am just completely torn as to whether I want it to be a live stream or pre-recorded. And I know the people that are here are going to say, we'll do a live stream, but you're the ones who catch the live streams. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so let's get working on education, guys. Funding for schools. Public education funding is bloated. That's millions that could improve the economy. Remedies are not always pleasant, but the government must find a way to completely restructure how education is funded and cut out all the unneeded fat. By the time it's done, nobody will see any real damage to the school system. The eternal question, where to cut without upsetting too many people? Himmler, England, Consul Command, Bergsci, your leader is very funny. You see, the thing is, I want to do a Burgundian system run because I don't actually understand it really. And, it's just like, and yeah, I know I can read it here, but I feel like I need to play a Burgundian nation to really, really get it. Too much of a personal touch. What is this? Campaign funding. There's a drop-off in wealthy donors. Okay, basically because I came out a little bit for blue-collar workers, the CEOs and such are pissed. We're going to lose the funding war and with it control of the agenda. Money talks and votes with its feet. In the boardroom, can we find anybody less politically toxic? Oh, dang it, we just lost some GDP growth. Well, that's not going to help. I really want to pay off the debt. God damn, our deficit reduction, it was like, wasn't our annual deficit reduction going to be like 29 billion, and just like that, because of business turning on us, it's down to 21 billion. $8 billion just disappeared. What is this? What is this, Wall Street? Okay, so somebody's asking who was George Wallace in real life. Freaking... Okay, well, I talked about this a lot in the first episode, but I know sometimes people come in later. Basically... Hold on. Alright. Hold on. Before I talk about who he was in real life. Short answer, multi-term governor of Alabama. But okay. Lower funding for black schools. We're only wasting money on trying to teach them anything anyway. The legality of the move is dubious, and the Yanks sure won't let it slide. Or we could cut education funds. We can save money without people calling us racist for once. It'll decrease the quality of education. The CMPB will hate us. Wait, just heard an alert. Thank you very much. Oh gosh, I hope I pronounced your name right. Jiri Krijiksi, or Jechi. Good evening. Do you know the anime named Legend of the Galactic Heroes? If not, then I recommend Halo Face. I have indeed heard of it. In fact, I have. It's my favorite anime ever. I've seen it more than once. It's an absolute masterpiece. It transcends the entire genre, and if you ever actually look up on YouTube why you should watch Legend of the Galactic Heroes, you will find the video by a channel called Voyages in Time is actually me. I'm gonna link it in the chat now. I actually really should get back to that channel, but basically I had this idea many years ago now, of course, for a project where I was gonna start with that, and then I was gonna rewatch the entirety of Legend of the Galactic Heroes and review every single episode and discuss like its historical references. I think I got like 5 episodes in. I really should one day try to pick that back up again, maybe make it a project sometime, bucket list sort of thing. Yeah, I also have this friend who I once gave him because it's like costs thousands of dollars if you want to get a freaking like legal copy of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, the original version. That's just how it is. Thank you very much for the donation, by the way. So I once gave a friend of mine off of my external hard drive a copy of my HD, nicely subtitled versions of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and I just went on and praised it to him. I'm pretty sure that he watched it by now. I gave him those copies like 5 years ago. Anyway, so okay, it says if we cut the election funds, the NPPC is going to hate us for this. But what? They're not going to hate us if we lower the funding for black schools? Okay, I'm noticing the chat is reacting to me faster, which is a good thing because I was adjusting the delay on the stream, so that's good. That's good that people can could respond faster. So we're going to lower the funding for the black schools, which could potentially force the impeachment crisis. Salted Awful says people who don't watch... Yeah, it's only black. Yeah, the sock dems don't care. We're saving money. We're giving those blacks a good reminder of their proper place in society. Okay, hold on. I have to go to the transition screen here for a second, because I got to protect some state secrets that are in the save files once again. A campaign that I'm almost done with, hopefully. Let's see here. Wallace on education. Give me a second. Dude, watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes gets you extra laid. Just the aura of Reinhardt and Yang Wenli coming off of you is gonna... Dude, it gets to be like fishing with dynamite. Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna lower the funding for the black schools. Did the music cut out? What's going on here? CHG, you cannot not play as Magadan/Warbel. It's just so awesome. No, I do want to play that. Well, Magadan's not here right now, but the thing is, I can't seem to find like a definitive route to create, you know, the American Outer Heaven thing. So that's why it's a little bit lower on my priority list. I do want to play it, but if it's one of those things where it requires RNG, like I have to have the United States AI help me too much, it's gonna be too much. It's not gonna really be worth playing. There's a lot of toss-ups out here. I don't like that. So once we're done here, we can enforce segregating funding. The legality will be doubtful. The socialist wing will grow. Yeah, you know, I kind of like how there's things here where, because, you know, when I go states' rights, states' rights, states' rights, when I say it from the pulpit, you know, the poor states love me saying it. But then as soon as I say, and because we want the federal government to stop, you know, oppressing us, every state's gonna pay for its own thing, and they're going, yeah! Oh, wait, what? We can't afford that. And that's just how it is. Like, if you look at, It is. Never mind. I was gonna talk about some modern stuff, but never mind. Because it might sound like I'm taking sides one way or the other, and it could be interpreted different ways by different people. So never mind. It doesn't require RNG, just required loads of mercenaries and we'll have them. But isn't it freaking that like the US has to keep funding you or something? I don't know. Oh, I just realized that my my face cam is in the wrong spot. I'm covering the calendar. There we go. Let's get that up. Here we go. Also, could still turn on and off my Ushenka. Well, it's a Cossack hat, though. Not really a Ushenka. Yep, ended up not being too cold of a winter here in El Paso. I really was a little bit scared about it. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. How much does a Cossack hat cost these days? Yep, and trapper hats pop up. I'm talking about like the big, like the bomber hats. Oh, you can use decisions to make them keep funding you. Oh, now that is interesting. Okay, the polls have been updated. Let's check in on that. Although I don't think much has changed. It's only been a few months. I think I'm isolating people too much. We're going to lose Pennsylvania. What are we going to do? Ooh, the Great Lakes are turning on me bad. Deep South is very safe. Upper South is safe. Oh, this is the... I'm looking at the presidential race. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get reelected. I'm sure of that. But what I'm worried about right now is the Senate. You mean Felina, bum number one? Yeah. Oh, shoot! I'm sorry. I didn't realize we weren't that we were paused. But the Senate races, I think we're going to go for the Rockies next. Because we also might potentially lose our seat in Wyoming. What is this? We don't have manpower or equipment to fulfill our garrisons? What garrisons do we have? We're not occupying anything. Are we? Occupied territories. Cuba, the Bahamas. What? Himmler's England. Excuse me? This is Cuba. What? Alright, that's weird. What does it mean? Like, oh, is it like Guantanamo Bay or something? Or yep, there it is. Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, because it's a core state of Cuba. Got it. Alright, inside the Third Reich. The sudden release of Albert Speer's controversial new book, Inside the Third Reich, has shocked American audiences struggling to grasp the cruelty of the German regime. With scales skyrocketing, Speer's first ever public work looks set to reach the top spot on the New York Times bestseller list. Oh, he's here in the United States. I didn't know that was a thing. Did we get an event saying that? Anyway, Albert Speer, the former Reichsminister for Economics, sought political asylum in the land of the free after his crushing defeat in the German Civil War. Inside the Third Reich details his rise to power in the German Reich, his attempts to reform its evil system from within, and the barbarity of its most tyrannical politicians. Speer reveals his heartbreak after learning of Heinrich Himmler's mass slaughter of Jews and Slavs in Eastern Europe, before Martin Bormann, a sexual predator and thug who manipulated Hitler from the shadow, saved those millions from death, only to place them in shackles as slaves. Speer has not responded to criticism of his book's legitimacy, and many have cast doubt on his professed ignorance regarding the genocides and establishment of slavery. A fascinating read. By the way, Jiri, the one who donated the super chat earlier, did you have any requests of me? Yeah, go back to doing racism. We're doing it. Okay, time to enforce segregated funding. Although, wait, let's double check. Was there anything else I wanted to do? State-owned spending, the American worker. No, yeah, because I want to get down here to the spare cash event, because that's going to... I talked about this before. All right. Forcing segregated funding. We were in American despair. in the freaking after Kennedy gets shot. But we're all the way up to a ray of hope, and if we can get down here to look at this spare cash I found, that's going to get us to daring to dream, and I think one more upgrade after that, we actually get rid of the Malthus entirely. Okay, a demand from the Fuhrer. President George Wallace sat down in a chair in his office. His translator picked up the red phone. The phone call about Speer's extradition was beginning. Martin Bormann, the Fuhrer of the German Reich, was on the other end. The translator said something German into the phone. He says he wants Speer to return to Germany and for the publishing of his book to stop. Ask him why he wants the book banned. The translator did as the president says. He says it's a bunch of lies. Why does he care if it's all false? He says it makes them look worse because everyone in America believes it. Why would he care what we think? He says he doesn't have to answer that. Oh, the translator paused, listening on the phone. He struggled to hold in a laugh. He says to turn over Speer right now, or we will face the diplomatic wrath of the Reich. The president chuckled, so did the translator. He says, you think this is funny. I swear, if you do not return Speer and stop the publication of that nonsense, I will turn the Reich's full power against you. You will rue the day that you decided to... What is this, a comedy routine? This is going nowhere. Mr. Bormann, we're not giving over Speer. Goodbye. Request denied. That's really funny. Hold on a sec. I'm trying to think of the, hold on, let me pull up the, I'm just imagine Bormann getting pissed on the phone and just going, what did you say about me, you little bitch? I have you know I graduated top of my class in the Nazi SS and have been involved in numerous, hold on, and have been involved in, I'm not going to do the accent, I've been involved in numerous secret raids on the West Russian Revolutionary Forces, and I have over 300 confirmed kills. I am trained in guerrilla warfare, and I'm the top sniper in the entire Third Reich. You're nothing to me but just another target. I will wipe you the fuck out with precision, the likes of which has never been seen before on this earth. Mark my fucking words. You think you can get away with saying that shit to me over the red phone line? Think again, fucker. As we speak, I am contacting my secret networks of spies across the Third Reich and the USA, and your phone line is being traced right now, so you better prepare for the storm, maggot. The storm that will wipe out the pathetic little thing you call your life in the Organization of Free Nations. You're fucking dead, kid. I could be anywhere, anytime, and I can kill you in over 700 ways, and that's just with my bare hands. Not only am I extensively trained in unarmed combat, but I have access to the entire arsenal of the Wehrmacht, and I will use it to its full extent to wipe your miserable ass off the face of the earth, you little shit. If only you could have known what unholy retribution your little clever comment was about to bring down upon you, maybe you'd have held your fucking tongue. But you couldn't, you didn't, and now you're paying the price, you goddamn idiot. I will shit fury all over you, and you will drown in it. You're fucking dead, kiddo. And then, yeah, Wallace just hangs up. So, Supreme Court intervenes in Wallace legislation. Well, we've got like 7 conservatives, right? Wasn't that a thing where people were going, oh, we don't like that the Supreme Court is stacked even though we keep electing conservative senators. Okay, we got 7 conservatives and 2 liberals. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a really great version of that copy pasta where it's, look it up, it's Martin Luther King reads the Navy SEAL copy pasta or something. Okay, the Supreme Court. The Wallace administration forwarded a piece of legislation calling the Education Rebudgeting Act towards the Senate in an attempt to rebalance funding towards schools across the United States. However, the Supreme Court has declared the bill to be unconstitutional. Come on, damn it! What is the fuck... Okay. I try to not be critical of developers, of mods. I know it's a lot of hard work. I know they put a lot of effort into it, but sometimes things like this just frustrate the crap out of me because you can't have it both ways. So we're taking negative hits because we're so, oh, you know, minus stability, minus war support, minus political power, because you've stacked the court with your minions, and then my so-called minions don't even frickin' work for me. So which is it? So yeah, the Supreme Court says it's a deliberate attack on the African American population's rights and freedoms in the United States. However, there's a Japanese leader named Kiddo, so when he says you're fucking dead, kiddo, that's good. Okay, complain. Okay. President Wallace himself responded by accusing the Supreme Court of attacking his rights as leader of the United States and repairing the broken education system of the United States by directing funds towards proven efficient centers of education rather than the unneeded schools that leech from the budget. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, I know. The Supreme Court is objective. The Supreme Court is... We're playing a fucking video game. I'm talking about gameplay mechanics, not real life. People turn against people who friggin' nominate them all the time. There's plenty of like friggin' Blackmun. Blackmun was pretty much groomed by Warren Burger his whole life so they could both be on the Supreme Court together, and then Burger ended up regretting it because then Blackmun goes all liberal, and then he's the one who's behind Roe v. Wade, and yeah, Burger fucking hated it. I don't even think they were friends anymore by the end of their lives. But I'm talking about gameplay mechanics. It's the same thing like with why is it that I don't know, we haven't hit the impeachment thing yet, but if I've got like over 60 senators and I still get impeached, that's bullshit, if you ask me. Anyway, just a little frustrated. Let's move on. Supporters of the far-right NPP have stood behind President Wallace, as many have come to the steps of the Supreme Court with a variety of chants and banners, some demanding that the Supreme Court stop acting so political and realize that the president is working for the more patriotic American people. However, the black community has stood in defiance of Wallace's supporters and stood with the Supreme Court. Many have found anger with Wallace and his actions, actively protesting the president in various NPP associations due to their distrust of the party with the president's proposal. As said by one African-American man, "This is the United States of America, not Germany and not Japan. We are here to find justice for all. How do we dare accept the actions of such a vile attack against the already small education provided for African-American children?" Some larger cities have even reported work protests and strikes supporting the Supreme Court against the Education Rebudgeting Act. Complain all you want. Wait, so it will give its judgment? So is it passing or not? Chat, you guys still there? Okay. So, once we're done with the segregation funding, they're going to have state-owned salaries. We're still going to have plenty of time, so let's figure out which one do we want to go here. So we can maintain educational subsidies. It'll help us look better in the north. Oh, so they did approve it. Okay, so I guess that was maybe just one of the justices complaining, but good. Yeah, they heard me complain. Yeah, that's right, bitch. That's what we call a gamer moment. Anyway, after days of debate and discussion of constitutional interpretation, journalists report the ongoing fight between the Supreme Court and the President of the United States have finally come to a conclusion in an overwhelming approval. Wow, so I was complaining for nothing. An overwhelming approval for the Education Rebudgeting Act by the Supreme Court justices. Despite the continuously bloody political punches back and forth from the Supreme Court to the President, the matter has finally been resolved. And Wallace's plan to reorganize the funding of schools across the United States in what some call a direct attack against African American schools. Yeah, they fixed it while playing. It was like in Girls und Panzer when the automotive club gets a tank and they've got the Porsche Tiger and it's overheating or something while they're driving it. So one of them just pops his head or her head out of the tank and fixes it while they're still driving the tank. Great moment. What confuses me is the question as to why this debate had to happen in the first place, the president said with laughter in his victory. After all this time, all this debate, the justices of the Supreme Court have come to the conclusion that, once again, my administration is working towards a better America. An America without a crippling amount of debt and saddled by useless schools that could be closed down anyway, he said, walking away with some key members of his administration. Many across the South have expressed their happiness with the bill's passing, saying that whether it hurts the blacks or not, we're taken care of, and that's what the president knows matters. God bless that man. However, some have taken a grave amount of solemnity in knowing the president's successes. Many members of the RDs and the central branch of the NPP have stated their overall disgust with the approval of the act, despite the obvious constitutional issues of targeting a specific race in legislation, as said by one Chicagoan who came to D.C. to protest. The African American community have expressed their absolute resolution in ensuring the president does not interfere with their lives longer, and have begun a wide range of protests to the clauses of the Education Rebudgeting Act. Some large cities have even reported riots to prevent the closing of schools whose budgets had been slashed by the act. Deploy the National Guard and let's call it a day. Awesome. Awesome possum. So now we're just going to wait for the enforced segregation funding to go through. Oh, yeah. But so I was trying to figure out this thing. So states pay in full will help with the states' rights, obviously. Financial burden on the poorer states is becoming unbearable. If we do this, Wallace's voter base will start to be more content with the state of states' rights. Our expenses will decrease sharply. This will follow up with Wallace's voter base will start to have second thoughts about states' rights. So we can maintain educational subsidies, but then they'll want more states' rights things to do. Quality of education will suffer. Okay, so either way, we're going to save money. Like, that's the whole point of the bill, which is good, because then we can cancel the national debt soon. We can attempt to pass the bill into law. All right, well, we definitely want to do states-owned salaries in the meantime. So this is, why is the government... Wait, what is this? Arkansas governor resegregates his state. Oh, what's this? Hey there, J-Dog. Hey, focus on class, J-Dog. Education's important. And that's why we're doing this, because education's important, but we don't need to spend a lot of money on it. And really, it's just going to make the schools more efficient if they don't have very much money. In a surprising announcement this morning, the governor of Arkansas announced he would be reinstating segregation in his state. Orville Faubus, passionate supporter of segregation, and President Wallace declared that with Wallace's blessing, he would allow local businesses to restore separate white and black facilities, and would be ordering formerly desegregated schools to remove all non-white students immediately. Hi, Darkseid. His declaration was met with cheers by a crowd waving pro-segregation and Confederate banners. This has come as something of a surprise to President Wallace, as he gave no such direct blessing for the governor to restore segregation so soon. Not every barrier to segregation's restoration has been removed, and with Brown v. versus Board still technically in place, the matter of resegregating the schools in particular would prove extremely legally problematic. Naturally, the governor's decree has sparked protests by civil rights activists across Arkansas and fierce outcry from black parents whose children have suddenly found themselves turfed out of school. Segregation is a delicate matter in this current age of America, and Fabius's careless act may cause many issues indeed. He's jumped the gun. This could cause problems. You need to wait. Second term, buddy. You gotta wait for the second term. Wait till after the election, you fool. So right now, my voter base is quite happy with the state of segregation, but they're unhappy when it comes to states' rights. So some of them are defecting to the Democrats. You know what? I think that's like a false thing. That's not really going to happen. Like the Deep South, we have got a lock on. Like, we're going to go Democrat. We swear. Just, yeah, sure, buddy. Sure you are. You know what? Let's pay off. We're going to pay off some of this debt because we are accruing interest, so I should have done this earlier. Use all your liquid reserves to pay off the national debt. Wait a minute. I don't actually know if we can never do that again if we do that once. So hold on. Let me just make a save file real quick. So let's see. Wallace and the debt. Okay. Yeah, it's because I've got spoilers in my save my save files right now. We can do it many times. Okay, just was wanting to be safe. There we go. So now we're down to 1776. Wallace confirmed for freedom incarnate. Oh, I didn't even plan that. How long have I been streaming already? Okay, so I'm probably only going to go about an hour and a half because there's some other things I want to do today. And I'm probably going to stream later today. Now, incidentally, I might do some more Breath of the Wild because I have the day off. Let's see, Wallace. And it's just one of those things that, like, the non-history stuff I'll probably do on my days off. So since I got 2 days off in a row, might as well do it, you know? Reporters warn the nation not to rest after the exhaustion of the fight of the School Rebudgeting Act. So there's now a second Supreme Court case going on. So right now, basically, there's state and local laws that are getting passed. It's politically charged. Wallace's supporters. These justices think that just because they disagree with the beliefs of the president and the MPP, that they can manhandle the law to make it fit their view. That's dictatorship. We support Wallace's success. However, the Supreme Court has found support from a variety of groups within the United States social spheres. Many within the RD party have accused the president of attempting to undo the political processes of the United States government by appealing directly to the states despite the ongoing contestation within the Congress. So I'm going to say I'm well within my power. They maybe should... It's not a huge deal. It really doesn't matter now that I understand what happened, but since this doesn't, this is not the event that actually says whether the Supreme Court goes with this or not. Maybe it should say something. But Supreme Court justices don't really give interviews, certainly not back in these days. But so like this sentence: the Supreme Court has found support from a variety of groups within the United States social spheres. That shouldn't say the Supreme Court. It should, maybe it would end up being too wordy, but it should talk about how it's the people who are, because presumably there's some sort of lawsuit here that, like, Wallace has passed the federal laws and now they're working to do the state legislative laws. Did I just say that? Anyway, and so, like, I don't know, the prosecution, I guess you could say, but like, it should say something where there's people who are trying to get the court to overturn the law. Like, they're appealing to the court. And the people who are trying to get it overturned are finding support from these groups, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's not a big deal. I'm well within my power. Okay, Supreme Court, do the right thing. Do the right thing. I'm going to have to pull out the old George Wallace belt if they don't. Hold on. In fact, you know what? Let me go get that belt. And get that belt and some water. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Actually, got some hot water. Gonna make a little tea here. Give me a second. But I got the belt. So just got George Wallace outside the Supreme Court saying, justices, better do the right thing. All right. So, tea ASMR. Yeah, take that, Goldwater. Oh, if there's one thing we've established, it's fuck Goldwater on this live stream. I really should learn more about him. I just don't know enough, really. It's my understanding that he was basically just like kind of like a neocon, but he was like before his time, so to speak. Okay, just get this tea going. Drinking it out of my 1st Marine Division Stein. I wasn't in the Marines. This was just a Stein that was given to me as a gift. Hello there, Rest West. Okay. Let's get to it. Back to racism. The mysterious disappearance of Albert Speer. What's going on here? He has vanished. The former German Reichsminister turned Nazi exile has spent the last few years living in America after seeking political asylum. While many Nazis who fled the aftermath of the German Civil War sought to change their identity, Albert Speer instead published a book under his own name and conducted several high-profile interviews to increase its sales figures. As of the early hours of the morning, Albert Speer has gone missing, and the American police are coordinating to conduct a nationwide manhunt. In a public statement, Germany's Foreign Minister Walter Huel wished the Americans luck in their investigation and demanded that Speer be extradited to the Reich in the event of his discovery. Where is Speer? Long Knives 2 happening. Stick time. Is that Mercedes-Benz? Questioning the Dream. Basically, the system is cracking right now. We don't need to read all that. Basically, people in America are very disillusioned right now, but that's okay because the money's going to come out of nowhere in a few months, and hopefully, it might end up being a little bit of a squeaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 months. Yeah, right. It's gonna be like in House of Cards, which I never finished House of Cards. Incidentally, the American one, the American version. But yeah, there was a thing where they were trying to find a terrorist, and then it turns out that they had him the entire time, but they were keeping him in a secret cell so that they could then pull him out whenever they needed some political capital. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him, pretty much. Okay. So, black students are defying the governor. Little Rock Central High, 50 is the site of a much fervor when after the implementation of Brown v. Board, Fabius personally attempted to resist the desegregation of Arkansas by physically blocking black students from entering the building before he was removed under direct order from President Eisenhower. The African-American students were allowed to re-enter the school in direct defiance of the governor's order. They have declared that they have a right to be there, no matter what some no-good, ignorant, racist pig might think, as one student put it. Governor Faubus is reportedly maintaining medically concerning levels of fury. Medically concerning levels of fury. I'll have to remember that next time I'm pissed during the game. I'm reaching medically concerning levels of fury! Hold on. Okay, just had to move something. Making plans to send the police and even the National Guard to the school to forcibly remove the students. This could get out of hand quickly. Get Faubus on the phone. We need to talk. It's like, bro, you couldn't freaking wait for December? You couldn't freaking wait until after election, you stupid son of a bitch. All right, the Supreme Court approves the Wallace local legislation. You smell that, guys? That's the smell of a freer, brighter America. Get it, brighter, because we're taking out the black. Anyway, once more, a breaking news report over the second battle between the Wallace administration and the Supreme Court has come to a head tonight, and the Supreme Court has officially issued their response. In accordance with the constitutional powers vested within the President, President George C. Wallace's aim to coordinate a reorganization of a selected number of urban schools has been reviewed and approved by the Supreme Court in accordance with the supreme law of the United States. Thus, the Wallace administration has been approved within the federal courts to do as it pleases in their newly structured plan. Across the United States, political proponents loyal to President Wallace have rejoiced in the court's decision, with one NPP governor stating that, quote, the unnecessary battle fought between the Supreme Court and the President of the United States has made one thing clear. The President has secured his powers and the American people are free by Wallace's actions. Furthermore, there have been a large number of rallies dedicated to the FRMPP and Wallace's own image as a stream of Democrats have taken side with the more radical former opposition. Where Wallace has succeeded, however, many claim to have experienced a desperate loss. A second time, a battle has been waged with Wallace, and in this recurring battle we've lost. A disgruntled protester of the central branch of the NPP declares to the crowd around her, oh, dang it. Around the streets, reporters have claimed to have seen a tense silence among the African American communities. you'll see what's to come now that you've taken out your frustrations on children in the United States. Another victory in the books. Yes, yes, indeed. Okay. Why are we not getting another thing to let us campaign? What's going on here? I feel like we're due for it. One angry man. In a lengthy phone call, President Wallace rained bitter fury upon Governor Falbus, calling his actions childishly rash and potentially damaging to the cause of segregation all across America. Falbus was apologetic for jumping the gun, but insisted he had no intentions of backing down, pointing out that he did have the right to send in the National Guard as per Wallace's reforms, a fact which Wallace accepted bitterly. Okay, so basically, we have a couple of options, because like I could potentially federalize, the Guard could be federalized and things like that. Federalize the Guard, but leave the airborne, or bring in the airborne. What? He suggested reinforcing their ranks with reserves from the U.S. Airborne Forces, believing that their presence would deter the protesters and convince them to back down quickly. Questioning why a man so determined to de-escalate the situation would consider sending in military forces. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, after this, would the NPPC leave the party? Well, I'm pretty sure that that's what's happening. Like, they already don't vote with me. So, anyway, okay. Angry Man Seg event. I misspelled that, so I was typing too fast. Okay. Go back to the live stream. Leave the Guard under state control. Let's do we're doing Wallace's ideas here, so we're gonna federalize and bring in the airborne because that's what Wallace wanted. Which about what Wallace wants? I'm running this. I'm in charge here, and then you know the governor of Arkansas is just going.
Do you feel in charge?
I've given you a small fortune in Medicare.
And this gives you power over me?
Oh man, I make myself giggle too much. It's just the governor going, I'm segregation's reckoning. Or would it be black people's reckoning? Wait, who's Bane again? Yeah, the governor's Bane in this situation. Okay, so this is going to save Fed money. The voter base will be content with the state of states' rights. Yeah, so I just think this is so funny. Like, so I kind of want to... I think I'm going to do the states can pay in full. Yeah, we're going to alienate the CNPP here, which I'm sort of okay with. But, I'm just kind of curious because it says that they're not gonna like states' rights anymore, my voter base. So does that then mean they'd be okay with me federalizing? So then maybe I could, you know, so I don't know, for lack of a better word, like I can change my constituency's mind. So like I make the states pay for education out of their own pockets, and then the voter base is gonna say, wait a minute, we don't like that. The federal government means to take more control. And so then I could have federal segregation implemented, and then they're going to go, yes, that's good because we like federal mandates now. Interesting. Interesting. We're not federalizing the whole Guard. It's just that the Arkansas State Guard was being put under Wallace's control for this incident.
Loud and clear. Go ahead, over.
It's not like the entire National Guard is federalized now. Let me make another save file here. Maybe. After this, I won't have to do the transition thing anymore. So let's see here. Wallace and Edu states' rights. So yeah, it is my understanding from the thing, this is not a permanent, we're federalizing the National Guard in the whole country. It's more like because the governor does have to give permission, and also I understood it as they're arguing for half an hour, so it's that the way I understood it with the decision that I just took is that the governor says, okay, fine, I give you permission to do to federalize the National Guard for right now in Arkansas. It's under your command, and you figure out what to do here. Because I jumped the gun, and I'm sorry, so could you fix this? That was just my interpretation. Anyway, we're going to do states can pay in full. Not only will this help our agenda of promoting every state as a unique and independent institution, it will also relieve a lot of burden from the federal budget. Which is good, because we're trying to work our way toward, getting rid of the national debt. Polls have been updated. Kyoko Disaster says, how cursed is this race? Not particularly. It's not until the second term that we're going to get real cursed. But also, at the end of the day, we're authoritarian Democrats. We're not freaking Burgundians or something, or Yakis or something. So we can only get so cursed. There's a limit to how cursed we can be with this political party. Okay, let's finally have this tea. Ooh, that's hot. Liberal victory in Canada. Pierre Trudeau. Burgundian is a level. Yeah, Burgundians are advanced cursed, I've heard. So what are your guys' thoughts about what I should do when I finally do the Burgundian Himmler run? Should I do live stream or pre-recorded? Because I feel the thing is, if I do live stream, I'm going to have to be interacting with the chat, and I'm sure that those will be very active chats. So people go like, oh, shoot, oh, this thing is happening. But on the other hand, if I pre-record it, we're going to lose that interaction, but, then you get to see me react to things blind, and I feel like if I did a live stream, people are going to tell me, oh, wait until this happens, and, somebody's going to spoil stuff. Yeah, that's just how it is. I don't know. Just some thoughts. Just thinking out loud, I guess. I know that. It is a biased place to ask, but I'm just trying to getting people's thoughts. Stand out. Do it with no spoilers. Yeah, because I want to react to it. I want to feel that experience. Standoff at Central High. The National Guard was waiting. They waved through the white students and turned away the black. There was a massive protest. The crowd demanded equality and justice. They waved banners at the armed guard. As the clock struck 12, the heat of the Arkansas afternoon brought the crowd to a fever pitch. A small group of counter-protesters arrived to hurl abuse at the demonstrators, which only added to the tension. Facing a cacophony of fury and boxed in from all sides, the National Guard slowly began to lose their patience. Amidst the chaos, Little Rock had become a tinderbox. All that it would take to ignite the situation was a single spark. Please don't do anything stupid. Now, I think because we have the airborne bracing the National Guards, we're not going to get these, the shots were heard around America. Damn it. After altercations between student protesters... Okay. One of the guardsmen became increasingly twitchy as the leader approached him. Oh, twitchy! Oh no, I'm so scared. As he cried out for equality, he snapped. Others would ask, however... He would later claim to have felt threatened by her presence. Others would ask, however, how an unarmed and armored white man could possibly feel threatened by a young black student who just wanted to learn. The crowd froze as the shot rang out. The guardsman, his gun in hand, the activists bloodied and dying, falling to the ground, and then chaos. Some ran in terror. Others charged forward in fury. Now in complete panic, the other guards released more shots into the... They released the shots like they're hounds. Release the hounds. It's like, release the bullets. More shots into the crowd in a desperate attempt to restore control. 2 more young protesters would be dead by the end of the day. 1 brick thrown by an outraged student would send one of the guards into a coma from which he would never wake. As the chaos unfurled across Central High, just as it soon would across all Little Rock and through America, first journalists arrived on the scene. The images they would capture of the blood and the dust and the bodies of the students and the terrified. Hold on a sec. And the lost my space. Terrified children watching from the school windows would soon be broadcast across the nation. America would bear witness to what would become known as the tragedy of Central High. And the wrath those scenes would unleash would wash all across the land from the lowest street to the highest seats of office. Oh God. Shadow of the tragedy. And then Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young just go, you know, 10 soldiers and Wallace is coming. We're finally on our own. This summer I hear the drumming. 4 dead in Arkansas. Gotta get down to it. Anyway, you know, syllable count will be a little different. This is how it is. It's a quiet night in the Stonewall Inn. Barely anyone notices my scribbling notes in the corner. Oh, no, the Stonewall. This is different. This is, yeah, the nightclub. What if you knew her and found her dead on the ground? How can you run when you know? Okay, a lot of finger pointing. Ugly. Okay. The media, for the most part, is pointing their daggers at President Wallace. Ugly face of segregation revealed. Wallace oversees massacres of children. Just some of the headlines being rolled around by every newspaper in the country. Damn it. The media has called out Wallace for being directly responsible for the National Guard during the incident, having federalized them shortly beforehand, but particular attention has been drawn towards him, authorizing the use of airborne infantry to reinforce the Guard and intimidate protesters. Such flagrant militarization of the streets and threats towards political opponents proves Wallace is the antithesis of the Founding Fathers. Oh, man, we're fucked. We're fucked. Impeachment is happening. Wait a minute. No. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try and do this. We gotta... Guys, no. No. The governor started this. The governor is gonna fix this shit. We're going back in time. Back. No. Is this... Wait. Was that the thing? Angry man. Oh, I didn't think I made a save file. Yeah, the governor's gonna have to eat it on this one. We need a scapegoat. Like Oliver North. Unbelievable. Oh, the tea is really soothing on the inside of my cheek. Because I kind of bit it yesterday. Okay. So, let's try this again, shall we? States can pay full. Everybody started on LeMay all the way. Nay to LeMay. Polls have been updated. Also, aren't we supposed to be having more things where we campaign? It's frickin' May and we've only done one campaign session. This is bullshit. The game's against Wallace. They're against freedom. They're against states' rights. I blame the devs. Blame the devs now. Forever. Tomorrow. Yesterday. Everything. Four dead in Arkansas. Whoa. 4 dead in Arkansas. Whoa. What's going on here? Come on. Let's go. Far right NPP RFK moment. These are just gamer moments, that's all. Liberal victory in Canada. Yep, so Trudeau is in charge. Let's see. His charms, good looks, and counterculture appeal have helped him win his way to the Prime Minister's office on a wave of Trudeau mania. Trudeau mania is running wild, brother, and this Sunday in Quebec, the Liberals are gonna take charge. Are they still dealing with the Quebecois? Yep, there it is. Unaddressed Quebecois terrorism. Hello, MMRZA from Iran. Nice. Cool, cool. I always like to hear people who, watch in different countries that are not Europe or the United States, have them chime in. Like when I did my Anzac Day special a couple years ago, I did the Australasian guide for Kaiserreich. There were some people who said they had just come from the dawn services and they saw the notification to watch my video. Gotta get down to it. Soldiers are turning us down. Gonna be right where we know. I just got Ohio in my head now. Trudeau Sr. was very charismatic. Seems it runs in the family. Well, I don't know. I'm not Canadian, so I don't know a whole lot about what goes on up there. Last thing I heard, the last thing that I remember hearing from Canada in 2020 was that Trudeau had held a press conference saying that the COVID vaccine was going to be free. Gets events, Central High protesters stand down. Yeah, that's what it said before, didn't it? Oh, did we not go far enough back? Tragedy. Wait, what? I think, is this a bug? And I guess I gotta go further back. What the heck is going on here? Wallace on education. What is going on here? Why didn't we... I guess we have to go further back. Dynamic save file. Oh, yeah. So, anyway. Yeah, he had said that the COVID vaccine was going to be free for everybody, and then Canadians were making fun of him because because I guess vaccines are always free in Canada. So they're like, you seriously held a press conference to tell us that? But I don't know. Okay, one angry man. This is what I was looking for. So yeah, leave the guard under state control. That's what I was trying to get to. So it was a few days off, guys. Sorry. By the way, my left hand is feeling better, guys. I borrowed a book from a friend of mine on self-massage because I was getting those cramps in my left hand the last couple of days. Hold on. And so yeah, I just worked on some stuff, and I did the heat on it as well, things like that. So left hand feeling much better now. Oh, we're still paused. I'm so sorry, guys. Come on. I want to get down to the big business thing by the end of this stream. But, yeah, some of y'all should check out my Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild one. We're pretty much done with the intro now, because I did a long stream yesterday. So now we're going to get to a lot of the fun stuff. Can really start doing the open world things that are so great about Breath of the Wild. Come on, when can I campaign again? What is happening? Who won in Spain? Pretty sure it was Franco. Yeah. But I'm just going to stay highlighting on this decision tab now. Opposition or campaigning? When am I going to get to campaign again? This is crap. I'm extremely annoyed right now. We've campaigned 1 time since January. Now, admittedly, I don't know exactly how many days. I don't know exactly how many days it's supposed to take in between when you can campaign, but I'm almost entirely sure that it's equal with how many times the opposition gets to campaign. Yes, Daniel. Full segregation. And we're also trying to do like a galaxy brain play, which I may not actually totally understand, where we're going to make the states pay for the education reform, so then people aren't going to like states' rights anymore, because it's like, wait, I don't like states' rights if it means I got to spend money. And then we're going to use that and also the new Senate that'll come in this new election so that we can federally attempt to maintain segregation. And that means put it in the northern states and stuff. This, I don't know if this is a galaxy brain move or if it's a pea brain move, but we're going to find out soon. Yeah, the Iberian Union seems to have quite a lot of content, while France has none, which is unusual. Not saying there's anything right or wrong about that, but that's usually not the priority order with these games. Or mods, I should say. Standoff at Central High. Look, it says there again, get event, Central High protesters stand down. But we don't get that event. What is wrong with this thing? I'm going to make a save file to maybe send to a dev. I'm going to bring this up to him. Wallace. Standoff. Bug. Did Israel spit? Yes, Guzman. So some people have been saying this is pretty cursed. It's the, yep, the bodies are happening. I'm pretty sure that's a bug because it says one thing's gonna happen, but then something else happened. Yeah, so they did the 2-state solution. They're both socially democratic. Some people have been saying this is cursed. I'm sure that if we asked them, though, they would say it's pretty blessed. I'm talking about in the mod. Because, yeah, they've created their little union. We've got, like, a bigger Lebanon. Nobody's fucking with them. It's interesting. Apparently, this is very rare. Snapshots from Stonewall. It's just the gay bar thing. Shadow of the Tragedy. Yeah, they're paying attention to President Wallace allowing Governor Favis free use of the National Guard. By allowing his attack dog to use National Guard forces against peaceful demonstrators, the lack of responsibility only allowed the worst proponents of segregation the ability to wreak mayhem against their political opponents. For the first time in a very long time, the Republicans, Democrats, and Center all united together, united in outrage at the president carelessly allowing military force against American citizens to further his segregationist ambitions. As the right attempts to mount whatever defense it can, calls have rang out from both sides of the aisle for a formal inquiry to begin against President Wallace, and from multiple sources, the one word no president ever wants to hear are muttered on an hourly basis: impeachment. Okay, so I'm guessing so it's just unavoidable. So we're going to maybe stay on this path, but out of curiosity, we're going to go back again to the save file and try again. Okay, impeachment unavoidable, maybe. It's probably inevitable is what I'm thinking, but we're going to check. And this is the save file we'll come back to if it in fact is. Just because I'm curious. Gosh, this is some bullshit. I was hoping to avoid the attempted impeachment until the second term. I guess we just got a little bit too deep into segregation. He who fights monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster, and if you gaze on to the abyss also gazes you. Yeah, Dark Knight's just going, let's go impeachment! LeMay all the way! Federalize the guard, but leave the airborne. Let's see what happens. Just, you got freaking... Who would be the Speaker of the House right now? Let's look at the senators. Like, who's a senator that would be really against this? Yeah, LBJ's not around anymore. Yeah, Barry Goldwater. He's just there in the Senate. You know, and you know, like Thanos, he just rings up Wallace because didn't we whoop his ass in '64? Didn't we run against Goldwater or something? But he just goes, Wallace, I am inevitable. But then I go, I am Segregation Man, and I snap my fingers, and he's the one who gets removed from his Senate seat. Damn, that was a good snap by me. That was wait, can't quite. Ooh, that was good. Damn, kind of impressed myself. Yeah. And then I'm gonna survive impeachment, and then all the senators will come back. Yep, Goldwater's furious I'm erasing the debt. There you go. Although I'm noticing my liquid reserves are not actually going up anymore. Is that a freaking bug or what? Oh, never mind. There it is. It's like, you better get some money in there, boy. And it's fixed. We'll see if I can survive it, guys. But yeah, and then I'm gonna have them. It's gonna be like when Homer went to Mr. Burns after he quit the nuclear, not the nuclear, the nuclear power plant, and then when he came back to get his job, and he goes, oh yeah, here's where people who reapply have to go through, and there's just a little doggy door, so they have to crawl, and it goes, come crawling back, huh? Oh, so now they stand down. There we go. Time has passed. It died with little actual violence. He has conceded the governor handled things better than expected. Okay. A sense of unease remains across the state as well as America as well. However, Arkansas has proved that segregation can be restored without bloodshed, a wondrous thought for its supporters and a nightmare for its detractors. The next few months are likely to see further flare-ups like the one in Little Rock. Could have been a lot worse, so we're going to get political power and also party popularity. Nice. Okay. That's weird. But we did it! But yeah, they're going to come crawling back and just like, you could not live with integration's failure. So where did that bring you? Back to me. Okay, so let's see. Wallace. Voids. Central. High. Incident. Now, Arkansas, you're enjoying segregating. Now, are you going to enjoy when I tell you that you need to pay for the schools? Snapshots from Stonewall. Yeah, we did this already. Okay, so we're back on the blessed Wallace path. And if you guys have problems with me using the save files, definitely go check out my pre-recorded campaign, because I'm definitely not using them there. Like, you know, going back and checking save files. Also, what did everybody think about me changing the thumbnail now that I had a new president in my pre-recorded campaign? Any thoughts on that? Vote yourself a palace. Vote for Wallace. Let's see. What rhymes with Wallace? What rhymes with Wallace? Flawless. Flawless! You know he's flawless. Vote for Wallace. Boom. Nailed it, baby. We have no collective brain. Lower subsidies to the states. Since a more localized administration is clearly far more efficient, there is no need to keep pouring as much federal money into schools as before. If a state feels the need to put in more money, they can get it out of their own funds. Another unnecessary money sink down, and nothing of value is lost. We will now attempt to pass the bill into the wall. The voter base will start having second thoughts about states' rights. It was like, wait a minute. I just didn't want those dark folk near me. But now I got to pay money? Oh, shoot. We've got a toss-up in the Deep South. The voter base is turning on me. Oh, there's a lot of safe RD areas. Why can't we campaign? What is happening? Damn it. We are in June. We have not campaigned since freaking January. The West Siberian Provisional Authority is reaching out to us. Dmitry Yazov. Oh, this ought to be fun. Quickly tell me what you guys think I should do. It was the CIA who pressured the Foreign Ministry into accepting the obscure West Siberian Provisional Authority's abrupt offer to invite American diplomats to a conference in the capital city of Omsk. Foreign Affairs had initially deemed it to be too dangerous, especially considering that up until now, Omsk and its surrounding territory has been an informational black hole. This, more than anything, is what led to CIA pressure to attend. A few CIA agents disguised as bodyguards attended the conference with the curious diplomats last week and reported that the situation in Omsk appeared surprisingly normal. Hold on, he's despotism. Wasn't he ultranationalism before? Anyway, I could be wrong. The government had clearly done hasty work to beautify the city center and refurbished an old hotel for diplomatic use, but such a thing was hardly out of the ordinary when American officials visited developing nations. Truthfully, most were impressed at how well the local government had patched over the cracks of war and decay, and found it to be an excellent sign of the government's effectiveness. The only dissenting opinion of this rather pleasant assessment was from an older agent who insisted there was something off about the people's smiles. Something dead and rotten in their eyes. Regardless of his paranoia, the conference went rather well, with diplomats being well fed with local cuisine and well watered with vodka. They were even given the honor of meeting the ever-busy Dmitry Yazov, who the diplomats found to be a very impressive figure. They assure us that while he wasn't democratically elected, he seems to be a developmental authoritarian, using his unchecked executive power to turn a backwards region around for the better before transitioning into democracy. The West Siberian request was hardly unexpected. They merely wished for OFN recognition of their government as a sovereign state. Okay, give them recognition, but warn Americans the region is still a war zone. Or we could say, no, I trust the agent's gut. There's something black brewing in the heart of Omsk. Well, it's not like we like any of these other options. We got the Serbians who've broken up into like a million freaking countries here. We're not gonna like Zukov and Mikhail. Hey, he reached out. He seems like a nice young man. I don't know how old he is. Those born after the rise of Lenin. Oh yeah, so he's what, like 40-something? Yeah, he seems like a nice young man. Let's recognize him. I'm nuclear, I'm wild. So, let's see. They're happy with states' rights, giving us more support in the South at the cost of some MPP center popularity and support for our presidency. So the voter base, it says that it's happy, and yet when we look at the polls, young, dynamic, Yazov. Yep, there you go. We're wild. Oh, the bill. Shoot. Okay. Across the country, too many schools keep being built, causing the hard-working patriots of this country to have to fork over more money for a school that they may never even see in their lifetime. The Education Financial Reorganization Act will fix this by dissolving the federal government's responsibility of paying for such schools and instead handing it off to the states. No more are we going to be the ones to spend their money. Rather, citizens will have those rights in their own state governments. 2 of the 21 Republican senators support our bill. There seems to be no room for further compromise. 12 of the 13 Democratic senators support our bill. There seems to be no room for further compromise. None of the 14 of our party's center senators support our bill. There seems to be no room for further compromise. And finally, all 52 of our party's far-right senators support our bill. See, this is what I'm talking about, that like we shouldn't be impeached if we have this many senators. Yeah, just a regular developmental authoritarian warlord. Nothing to see here. Yeah, those are a dime a dozen. We're not worried. So yeah, that's interesting. We're just too hard line. But it said we have 52 senators. That's right, because Hawaii came in. Hell yeah. So When are we going to be able to fucking... Excuse me for cursing, but... You know what? Cursing is like should just be standard out here. But why can't we campaign? Why? We need to lock down the South. We can't lose that. 1968 Republican Democratic primaries. Okay. Oh, that's right. Barry's the one who had In Your Heart. You know, it's like, okay, I know that you guys like John Glenn, but we're going to do Barry Goldwater so we can whoop his ass. Okay. Let's make a save file just in case. He's Makarov without Klosnazepam. (1968) RD election pick. Okay, Barry Goldwater. In your heart, you know he's right. Not when we can spank his ass. As. Somebody calling me? I don't know that number. I ain't answering. Okay, let's see here. Mrs. Chenault. Complete delegate. Okay, great conspiracy. What in the F is happening? Why can't we campaign? Not currently campaigning, or campaigning is on a cooldown. America recognizes the Omsk government. Dmitry Yazov has made promises of responsible military action over the unification wars to come, along with a speedy transition to democracy afterwards. Omsk seems like a nice place to visit. Are people actually in the chat going for Goldwater? You gotta go for Wallace. You know he's flawless. What's another word that can work? Vote for Wallace. Don't live next to Gonzalez, because, you know, segregation. If you want to be lawless, don't vote for Wallace. Gus Hall. Oh, he's there. Gus Hall is there. I see him. He's at 4%. Is this a freaking bug? I'm getting really freaking annoyed right now. Don't have a... Wait, no, would that work? Don't be in Wallace, vote for Wallace. I don't know. The polls have been updated. Okay. What's it looking like now? Yeah, I think we're going to very safely win the presidency, but that's not the issue. The issue is the Senate. Look at all these RDs. They're going to sweep through the Rockies. They're going to sweep through the Great Plains, the Great Lakes. It's a freaking toss-up in the Deep South. And Georgia right now is going to go Republican-Democrat. What the hell is going on here? This is bullshit. There's just no other way to put it. I am really fucking annoyed right now. Yeah. You did Wallace into Goldwater for your Yaki run. It was disastrous. So when's the earliest you can get Yaki? Is he only electable in 72? Georgia going Republican Democrat. How appropriate this week. Yeah, what do you mean Georgia's breaking off from the deep red South? Okay, yeah. We won our nomination. So you can only go Yaki in 72? Gosh, that takes forever. I was thinking about doing a Yaki run, but if you can't get him in earlier than that, I'll have to think of something entertaining to do along the way. You see, in my voter base, they claim right now they're happy with the state of segregation and states' rights and stuff. Well, my voter base is primarily in the South, isn't it? So what the F is going... Okay. What is happening? Is there a console command for this or something? Because this is bullshit. Okay, what's the foolproof plan? Foolproof plan. Do a sneaky spending bill. Segregate. He's only got 100 days of content also. No, Georgia's not voting progressive. They're not going NPP center. They're, let's see. The EFRA passes the test of Congress. President George Wallace is a man of various interpretations, with some calling him the savior of states' rights in the United States of America, to those calling him the man who will try to segregate America. Nevertheless, such interpretations have risen to the occasion to meet the president's success today, as official news has broken out that the Education Financial Reorganization Act, known as EFRA, has successfully passed through the Senate and has been signed into law. The act will completely sever federal ties to education centers' budgets, with 100% of the schools across the country now having their budgets directly tied to their state government. This reorganization of the balance of powers has delighted the Wallace administration, with several key members of the administration already calling for celebration, having seen that they have generated joy among the states' rights proponents of the country. Treasurer Wilbur Mills himself spoke of the issue today, saying, quote, President Wallace and our administration recognize the rights of the states to maintain control over the customs and regulations of their school centers, including their budget. The Education Financial Reorganization Act will help all those schools tied up in the bureaucratic mess of Washington to find a new and prosperous future in connection with their state. However, while strong proponents for state freedoms celebrate, others, including some within the education system itself, have produced sharp criticism of the president. One prominent member of a Wisconsin school board, who asked to remain anonymous, declared that, quote, President Wallace's despicable new act is going to choke the life out of hundreds, maybe thousands of schools across the United States. These children need help, for God's sakes, not just to have their government drop all responsibility for them, especially when some are already having to live in a state of financial crisis thanks to the Wallace administration's effect on the economy. Oh, you mean almost paying off the debt? All right, so pretty good to me. The newest reports indicate state governments are rushing to introduce new legislation regarding school systems thanks to the new act. Freedom for the states, for the children. Our academic-based societal development will begin to worsen. That just sounds like Yankee propaganda. And as your president, I won't stand for it. But we also got the boost earlier. I think that we're, it's currently stagnant. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. So 35 days plus 35 days plus 35 days. So that's going to get me to August, September, October. But then the 15 on top. I don't think we can get this done before the election if we do the foolproof plan thing, which I frankly don't quite understand. This could advance segregation. It will alienate the CNPP. Wallace's voter base will be more content with the state of segregation. The decision will increase segregation status at the cost of states' rights. The thing is, I was told that my voter base was going to be upset about the states' rights thing, but they're still happy. And they're actually extremely happy with the state of segregation. It's radicalizing the North. You know what I hope, though? That takes away from the RDs. I don't know. No, Bomber Monkey, you haven't missed it. I'm right here, although it's going to end soon. We're not going to be able to squeak this in time. We've got to go segregate state subsidies. Oh, we're going to alienate the center. Look at them. They're a joke now. They're at 8% popularity while Gus Hall's at 4. It's kind of, Martin Luther King just got assassinated. Extremism's going to grow in America. Well, there are rights. But don't worry, Bomber Monkey. I'm going to do a pretty long stream later today. I don't know if it's going to be 5 hours again, but, something. I'm really freaking worried about this Senate election. We've got images from a funeral. Very sad stuff. Moving on. Wallace is just, oh no! Anyway, Which actually, that's not the cadence. If you've actually seen the clip, because I like Top Gear, I like those guys. The actual thing is just going, oh no! Anyway, there's just no pause. He really doesn't care. Let's see, MLK was supposed to give Flawless Wallace the pass upon his inauguration. Are you talking about the N-word pass? Well, no, we're going to get the N-word pass from Angola. Remember we were talking about stream until the election? Maybe. Yeah, I probably will. It'll work out nice. See, how does the foolproof plan thing gonna even work if we already passed the bill? So yeah, we're just gonna ignore that. Oh, did you guys not know Jonas was down here? Yeah. Jonas Savimbi. Yeah, that's who's in charge of Angola. The nuke word passed. Death of a Supreme Court Justice. Well, we'll fill that up, right? Won't we? Never out up on there as made up. I think we got two different conversations going. God, the RD are gonna just sweep into the Senate. We've got the Deep South. You know what it is? It's split ticket voting. People like me in the Deep South. Oh, actually, or wait, no, yeah, that's like, yeah, the Deep South we're gonna take, but it's a toss-up legislatively. Damn it, damn it, damn it. And you know, that's what most people do in America. They split ticket vote. Just look at the latest election, whether you like it or not. Democratic president, and you know, whatever's going to happen in Georgia is going to happen, but definitely the so-called polling, I think the Democrats didn't think this was going to end up being a 50-50 split, and they were going to have to use their tie-breaking vice president. Hey, you know, I've been at the post office. I drive around, and I've seen people who they have Biden, what do you call them, signs out on their lawns, and then they have Republican local and state officials right next to them. Yeah, Savimbi doesn't just give you the N-word pass. You have to earn it. Polls have been updated again. Why am I... This was a bug. This has got to have been a bug. Because if there was something that said that I wasn't allowed to campaign, that's just broken. Because that's what's really going on here. I know that I've been doing controversial things, but I've been completely unable to campaign anywhere in the entire country. So I've just been fucked. There's no other ways to put it. Okay, transformation of education. Further history is being made today. The Southern Education Promise Act, which will direct the little remaining funding towards Southern schools, where the Wallace administration has stated it needs the most help. Others, however, are skeptical. On one hand, we have Southern schools and state leaders who, from the swamps of Louisiana to the beaches of Florida, have remained in celebration over the new bout of federal aid. Hold on. President George C. Wallace has called upon the powers of the American government to bless the South once more, said the governor of Georgia today. Whereas many presidents would overlook the needs of the cultural masterpiece that is the South, President Wallace has come to our aid once again. The president and the administration remains in celebration, and whispers of a meeting between the president and several Southern governors are circulating. However, while some have come together to celebrate, others have found that SEPA reeks of suspicion in their minds. One hard leader of the Republicans, Colonel John Glenn, did he lose his governorship? Spoke at a press conference just a few hours ago saying that the Southern Education Promise Act is a clear indication of President Wallace's intentions on supporting segregationist policies, whether it's written in the law or not. These states are handpicked for additional funding as they refuse African Americans from their doors. And it's just gross, it's wrong, it's un-American, and most importantly, it's just a sad display in the modern day. Another day, another victory for Wallace. Okay, look at this spare cash I just found. Ooh. Big business will love this. Big business will like this. Let us pour more dollars into the economy until it bursts. We'll get the National Spirit Subsidy Spree, which it grants plus 5% stability. Then we're going to go from a ray of hope to daring to dream, which is very nice. One benefit from the Wallace administration's surgical focus on state-driven education is that the exercise has rationalized a great deal of the education budget. Perhaps not to the extent Wallace's most ardent state rights supporters had crowed of, but enough to meaningfully impact America's fiscal metrics. Never hurts to have more cash, after all. Debate with Barry Goldwater. Senator... Alright, let's deal with this bitch right now. Senator Goldwater and President George Wallace wore frozen smiles as they approached each other. A picture of political congeniality. Too perfect. The two seasoned politicians were too practiced to do something so crass as to let their disdain for each other show in public. Senator, there's nothing worse in politics than broken promises. You disdain me for my principles, that in America a white man and a black man are better separated. But the voters say otherwise. Wallace spoke as much to the camera as he did to Goldwater. Senator Goldwater, you say you respect states' rights, yet you insist on carrying the torch of civil rights against the wishes of these states. The voters know where I stand. Can you say the same? I'd say that your claim to monopolize the moral high ground on an issue of civil liberties is hypocrisy of the highest order, Goldwater seethed. That's amazing. Oh, amazing word choice. He's seething. Oh, that's a great word. This republic was built on a promise of universal liberty, that all men are created equal. The states have the right to choose how they achieve this dream. They do not have the right to deny it entirely. Change his name from Goldwater to P. Let's not be crass, it could be urine. The voters side with Wallace. Wallace today, Wallace tomorrow, Wallace forever. If we can pass something through the Constitution, so it's okay. Actually, no, there's no limit to my terms because there was no FDR in this timeline. There you go, turning point NPP. You just nailed it, my oh my. Yeah, it's like you said. You say that you're a nonviolent man, Goldwater, and yet you're okay. No, wait, no, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. You claim that you have the higher ground than me on civil rights, Goldwater, and yet right now I'm dipping my balls in your mouth. Curious. Turning point, Wallace. Alright, let's go with the conservative justices, which I think is going to put us to 8-2, unless it was one of the other conservative judges that died. Wait, where do we check that? Yeah, I think it was just we replaced a conservative judge with another. Yeah, and you know what? The way look at this. So, what are the Republican Democrats going to win in the freaking thing? So they're going to win the Rockies, maybe toss up on the West Coast. They're going to have the East Coast, New England, whatever. So, but then the Senate, the RDs are going to run away with the Senate right now, and that's because of the bug. Because the things that I'm doing are stuff that the electorate likes. It's just, I don't know. Staying the course. Our way is the highway. Oh, people are pissed again. Why is the president that I elected picking judges that share his values? I've got a problem with that. This is bullshit, man. Of mankind, we may say they are fickle. Oh, dude, you're telling me we're about to lose the Senate even though I'm going to have a frickin' Roman triumph on election night in terms of the presidential race. Ladies and gentlemen, my name... Okay, so there's something going on. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Howard Reig, and this is NBC Nightly News. Tonight, we are covering... The newscaster went on what they knew was coming. The governor of Wisconsin was going to be coming on to either praise the administration as they deserve or continue to be defiant. Finally, the image of the governor's face flashed upon the nightly news show, rising to the podium with a large amount of applause filling the audio of the television sets. With a wave, the governor began his speech. Good evening, fellow Americans, and it is my pleasure to discuss with you tonight the recent developments and successes of both the governments in Washington as well as that of D.C. in helping our state prosper. Wallace scooted his seat closer to the televisions. Recently, as you all know, our residential and commercial infrastructures in land and sea have both been suffering for a long time, something my administration aimed at dealing with to ensure the success of our citizens. However, while we're fighting it, the federal government most graciously provided its aid by sending federal forces to guide and manage projects completed by our own state's workmen. Furthermore, in light of recent catastrophes involving the sinking of several ships within Lake Michigan, events which cost the lives of dozens of civilian sailors. The federal government directed naval forces to help guide and protect vessels within Lake Michigan and their journeys through the dangerous waters. To this, we issue our tremendous thanks to President George Wallace and his administration. Stalin, the Supreme Court was considered nonpartisan for most of the 20th century. Okay, Stalin, surely you do not think that. Everything was better in the good old days. Look up a book called 9 Men Against America. That was written in the 1950s and was talking about passing constitutional amendments to void, like, almost 30 years of Supreme Court decisions because these damn liberals being put into office are changing things so much. You're just, come on, dude. With the declaration of his name, Wallace rocketed from his chair and cheered on, erupting the room with loud cackling and joyous yells. LeMay and Mills each took turns confusingly looking at the president before looking back at each other. Finally, Mills asked, "Excuse me, sir, if I don't understand, sir, but what excites you so much about the governor's statement?" "Secretary Wilbur, I've left one crucial detail out of all this. That man and I tore at each other's throats for him not receiving state subsidizing due to his lack of segregation. But now he praises me, and Michigan will too." Dodged another bullet. Okay, so... Oh yeah, we got research to do again. Forgot about all that. Oh, who gives a damn? This, I guess. Yep. And Scotland's on the defensive. Let's go! Social Democrat. England and Scotland at war. The Isle is bathed in blood once more. Ooh, this tea's good. Alright, so we're almost done with the spare cash thing. George Jellicoe has been reelected Prime Minister. He instead of he kept us out of the war like with Wilson, it's just he took us into the war. Vote Jellicoe. Let's see how Scotland does. It looks like they're fending off the initial assault. I don't see Tiles quickly, what's going on? What's going on? I don't see Tiles immediately turning. The wars are won at the border. Oh, there it goes. The English are in Scotland. It's official. Hey, look at all this spare cash I found, man. That's pretty cool. Okay. So now... are we going to start doing this? Jacobin War. Man, which one? Am I right? Federal aid. It'll lower the autonomy of states. Conservatives will dislike this. Okay, anything else I want to do before we get moving? Let's see. The beacon of democracy, freedom, and business. Brothers in Arms. Unlocks investing in allies decisions. No. You can fire up the people. Expand recruitment outreach. Should we just go ahead and get started? Oh, 21 days. That'll happen before the election. The decision will increase segregation status at the cost of states' rights. National Progressive Party's socialist wing will grow. You know what? That might be good. Whatever cripples, like if the MPP center and the NPP left kind of just keep tearing each other apart, I can keep maybe start going on the fringes. Is this federal tyranny? Of course not. It's what the people voted for. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Oh, yeah. Scotland's going down. The HMS Jellicos. Jacobin War, except bastardized and nearly aborted, but the fetus missed the coat hanger. I think you mean the coat hanger missed the fetus. Also, goodness, that's graphic. Yeah, I want to at some point watch that Outlander TV show. I've always been told I would like it. It's supposed to be pretty good. For, you know, history geeks like us. There goes Edinburgh. So I was watching an episode of Top Gear that I hadn't seen before. I was like halfway through it. I've just been basically going through it a few minutes at a time when I'm doing other stuff, like I'm folding laundry. But they're doing a thing where they're pretending that it was 1949, I think. And so they're taking the fastest car, the fastest motorcycle, and the fastest train, and the three of them are racing to see who can go from London to Edinburgh fastest. So, like, for example, like where I am, they're taking the guy who's taking the train. He opens up a big lead, but the thing is, it's a steam train. Like it runs on coal and stuff. So they have to stop 4 times on the way to Edinburgh to get water, which, like, we're talking like thousands of gallons of water. So that's obviously going to delay them. So they open up a huge lead, and so then the question then comes, can the car and the motorcycle overtake that lead in time? All right, we're going to fully segregate transportation. This decision will increase segregation status at the cost of the state's rights. This will upset the northern states. Well, it's going to happen after the election, so whatever. A couple of rabble-rousers keep trying to sit in the wrong place on the bus. How quaint. How radical. How incredibly inconvenient to honest Americans just trying to get to work. In any case, the matter of segregated transport is apparently an issue now. So we're going to end the issue by federally encoding the right for states to tell people exactly where they can sit, be it on a bus or a boat or on an airplane. If you're too damn lazy to walk to the back, you're clearly too lazy to be going anywhere of importance, and should leave the seats to those who actually have some place to be. And they'll attempt to pass a bill into law, which I don't think is going to go well because we're about to lose a lot of the Senate. Oh boy. Because I get screwed. I don't know. We're going to have to look to see if there's like a freaking console command we can do. Yeah, basically every seat that's up right now is going to go RD. And yet the presidential race, we're going to run away. I'm very, very annoyed with this. Yeah. I'm seriously considering maybe live stream. We go all the way back to January and set it so that the NPP are the ones who are passively campaigning. Folsom Prison Blues. On New Year's Eve, on New Year's Eve, me and 2 friends, we hang out. We were being safe, and we stay isolated otherwise, but we're hanging out, and we were flipping through the channels, you know, watching the various ball drops and stuff in between hanging out, because, like, you know, we just try to catch in at the top of the hour, and at one point we tuned into PBS from New Mexico. Oh, yeah, what did happen to Omsk? Oh, goodness gracious. What is this? Okay, so there's a collapsed authority here of Omsk. There's the Russian National Reconstruction Committee under Pavel Batov, Yugra under Ilya Antonov, Surgut under Boris Atonov, and the Vorkuta Provisional Authority under Alexander Lazarenko. What is this? And Omsk is split? Oh, what a mess. How you tore your dress, what a mess. Oh, man. Batov killed Omsk. But, yeah, that's right, I did it. Okay, the new senators have been elected. Time for me to just be basically completely screwed with my pants on. Okay, it's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So we still have 44 senators, but there's now 37 Republicans. Seriously considering... Wait, what? President-elect Goldwater? Oh, go fuck yourself. No way. No. No, no, no. That's fucking bullshit. Let's take a look here. No way. Next stream, we're going to go back to January 1st. That's complete horse shit. Where's the thing that's going to show the... Yeah. Here we go. Election, 312 electoral votes. It's because they got New York, but we knew that was going to happen. Did the West Coast swing? Yep, the West Coast swung for Goldwater. That's how he took it. No, absolutely not. Well, we're going to end the stream there. That's complete bullshit. Maybe I'll make a save file here so we can do a Goldwater presidency. But, no. That's, the claimant bug or whatever just completely screwed us. So what we're going to do Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to January 1st next stream, and we're going to set it so that we're going to allegedly campaign for the RDs, and we're just going to not do anything, and then the NPP will campaign passively, which will be better than this bullshit. Oh, hey there. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you said you saw my videos playing Bulgaria. That was a fun little thing. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my southern Bulgaria that I created. That was a very fun little short campaign. But yeah, we might come back to this save file and play Wallace or something at the end. Maybe do Wallace, do Hall, but I refuse to get screwed like that. So I'm Conquering History Games. I'll see y'all next time. And I'm going to live stream later on today. We're going to do some more Breath of the Wild. I really encourage you all to be there. It's really fun. Your name's Victor? Okay. Hey, Victor. Well, sorry that you came in right at the end of the stream, but I should have it in my Wallace playlist if you want to go back and read the rest of that. Hold on a second. Has the thumbnail been wrong this whole time? The thumbnails have been annoying too. So there's this thing with YouTube where it always will put like the thumbnail of the last video live stream you did, but you just hit refresh and it fixes itself. But it looks like we had Empire Earth up this whole time or something. I don't know. But everyone have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later on. I'm gonna get some lunch.